The eye is a complex organ. Each eye constantly adjusts the amount of light it lets in, focuses on objects near and far, and produces continuous images that are instantly transmitted to the brain. The orbit is the bony cavity that contains the eyeball, muscles, nerves, and blood vessels, as well as the structures that produce and drain tears. Each orbit is a pear-shaped structure that is formed by several bones. Eye movements are any shift of position of the eye in its orbit. Let us see the anatomical positions of the eye. If the eyes look straight forward, it's called as the primary position of the gaze. In elevation, the pupil will look upwards. In depression, the pupil looks downwards. In adduction, the pupil looks towards the nose. That means the pupil will be directed towards the nose. In abduction, the pupil looks away from the nose. That means the pupil will be abducted or taken away from the nose. In torsion or internal rotation, the rotation of the eyeball towards the nose. Extorsion or external rotation is the rotation of the eyeball away from the nose. Let us see the muscles of eye. There are mainly two groups of eye muscles: the extraocular muscles and intrinsic ocular muscles. There are mainly 6 extraocular muscles which helps to move the eye: superior rectus, inferior rectus, medial rectus, lateral rectus, superior oblique and inferior oblique muscles, and one another levator palpebrae superioris muscle. It helps to open the eyelid. The intrinsic ocular muscles are present within the eyeball itself and controls the eye movements. Intrinsic muscles of the eye mainly controls two functions: the size of the pupil and the shape of the lens. Circular and radial muscles of the iris, namely iris sphincter muscle and iris dilator muscle respectively, they control how much light enters the eye. The ciliary muscle of the eye controls the shape of the lens. Let us see the nerve supply of the eye. The main function of the eye is sight, and the nerve that enables sight is the optic nerve, that is the cranial nerve 2. The nerves that innervate the extraocular muscles are also called as bulbomotors, and they are the oculomotor, cranial nerve 3, and trochlear nerve, that is cranial nerve 4, and abducens nerve, cranial nerve 6. The oculomotor nerve also innervates the intrinsic ocular muscles, and thus it regulates the accommodation. The lower eyelid is innervated by the infraorbital nerve, a branch of the maxillary nerve.